Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and today was Friday Night Smackdown. So if you did watch Smackdown live on international Netflix, then hey, thanks for joining me now, because we're doing this early. I warned you guys earlier in the week that we were going to do this early, and yeah, we're here, we're live, and we're talking Smackdown on international Netflix live from Saudi Arabia. Now, WWE did have some technical issues that, well, kept the show off the air for like 30-40 minutes. According to, and I'm going to read two different things here. I've got one from PWU Insider, and then I have another update that I saw Fightful post that I haven't actually read yet, so we're just going to read that off the cuff. But the PWU Insider one does state, quote, international fans watching WWE Friday Night Smackdown on Netflix were met with the show going off the air shortly after it began. While the initial assumption among fans was that Netflix had lost the transmission, that is not accurate. Editorial note. Also, all you people saying it was Iran. Iran attacked the building. You shut the fuck up, dumb sons of bitches. Anyways, back to PW Insider. PWInsider.com can confirm that there was a power loss in Riyadh that affected WWE's entire production, including the control room and the gorilla position. WWE lost power, and with that went the ability to control the different facets of the show. They are working to get everything back online, but again, it is not a Netflix issue. It is an issue originating at the actual venue. WWE halted the production of the show, so while the transmission is out, it is not a case of international viewers missing what is happening inside the venue. So basically what happened was a power outage went out to the point where mics were cutting in and out, and the screens like up the top of above the ring and so forth were also out as well. They're just glitched out. And we did see other glitches and audio issues throughout the show once they did get it back. But here's my interesting assumption here. So we go on the air and we're live for about 10 minutes and then it cuts out. Maybe 20 minutes. It cuts out. Not even 20. No, it wasn't 20 minutes. It was like 10 minutes max. 15 maybe. And so they lose 30, 40 minutes of the show. But we only actually went 10 minutes longer than the show was supposed to go originally. Where'd that extra 20 minutes go? 10, 20 minutes. Did they have less breaks? Did they have shorter breaks? I don't really know what got cut in time. That's the other big question. Because per a Fightful rundown before the show went live, it looked like nothing was actually cut. Everything that they had on their rundown, as I'm looking again here on their Patreon, actually happened. Other than we don't know. Now here's the question. We don't know how long the Cody and Orton segment was actually supposed to go, because it seems like, you know, once they found out that everything was messing up, they just kind of stopped. Randy was yeeting with the crowd for a little bit, and then Cody came back out. He was talking to his cousin, who's the timekeeper and everything. Oh, wait, are we back on? Nope, we're not back on. It's not working. No, there's a video online of it. And then I guess they sent Carmelo Hayes out to, what's the word I'm looking for? Have a little deal with Cody in the ring, just so Cody can give him a Cody cutter. But as far as what PW Insider wrote, we got that. What Fightful wrote, they said, quote, during the SmackDown broadcast from Saudi Arabia, there was a feed outage that caused broadcast issues for international viewers. We're doing updates on the situation. About 10 minutes into the show, international feeds froze, and the screens in Riyadh went out during a Randy Orton-Cody Rhodes promo. The talent were made aware of the issues, and after the promo, Randy Orton tried to kill time by speaking with the crowd. After that, Orton's theme played repeatedly as he went around meeting fans. About 25 minutes into the outage, Cody Rhodes came back out to speak to the crowd. The international screens began working again. Carmelo Hayes, in street clothes, was brought out to confront Cody Rhodes. He ended up eating a crossroads. The TV outage lasted a little bit over 30 minutes. They'll be refilming the Cody Orton segment. Okay. In an update, WWE sources said that the power outage to the control room and gorilla position area at the venue was what caused the issue. We're told that everything will air as normal in the United States. So that's interesting that they're going to send Cody and Cody and Randy back out later to, I guess you could say, refilm those segments. Now here's my question. There was a bloke. Okay, so they cut him off. There was a dude that was literally live streaming the show from the building on his phone to his YouTube but it looks like he only got about 2 hours and 12 minutes before it got cut. So I don't know if somebody there told him, hey, stop filming, because literally Fightful linked to it. So, but you can see the Carmelo Hayes Cody deal if you go back and watch that live stream. You can also see stuff from the main event tapings as well. It was Fraxium versus Los Garza, and then BFAB versus Roxanne Perez. You can go watch all that as well. But with all of that, as far as what we did see, so we won't have, if they're refilming the Cody Randy segment, I don't think there's going to be any news coming out of that or anything big. Fightful did say that that segment was supposed to be like a bunch of nostalgia stuff about their history and past together. So it's really just them saying, hey, we know each other very well, this, that, da, 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 da. So I don't think not recapping that is going to hurt anything here. But we did get to see, and I'm glad we got to see it, Punkanomics. Word life. It's a grace of Punkanomics. That was great. Like, the old John, because so CM Punk was on, and we got to talk about this too. And I'm going to pull the quote up and everything. I'm just going to get the report from F4W Online. CM Punk did apologize for his past Saudi tweets. So this comes from F4W Online as they do write the following. Ahead of competing in Saudi Arabia for the first time ever, CM Punk is apologizing for a mean tweet he posted 5 years ago. Punk received a largely negative response from fans today at the pre-Night of Champions kickoff event hosted by WWE. One of the fans in the crowd was a man named Muhammad, who asked Punk to apologize for his 2020 tweet, where he told The Miz, quote, go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia. Quote, this guy, so on the kickoff show, Punk said, quote, now, this guy didn't ask a question. He wasn't like giving a microphone or anything. He was yelling at Punk from the front row here. He said, and Punk said, quote, this guy wants me to apologize for a mean tweet I wrote 6 years ago. Hey, listen, it had legitimately nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I woke up and I was crabby and I wrote a mean tweet to The Miz and I apologized to The Miz. And sir, what is your name? Muhammad. I sincerely apologize to you and I love Saudi Arabia. Now, they did re-air this on Smackdown too, which is like, oh, damn, okay. Because at first, when Cena kept calling Punk a hypocrite, they wouldn't say why. They wouldn't say what it was all about, but here they said it. Punk would also go on to say, I'm not perfect by any means. Sometimes as human beings, we screw up. The beautiful thing is, everything is a lesson learned. And now, here I am. And you have invited me to your country. And I am grateful to be here. Thank you very much. So when Punk did come out, he got booed heavily. But not by everybody that was at the venue. Because there are a lot of people that want to take pictures with him and high five, slap hands, as Bobby Boucher would say. And so this guy, though, this Muhammad guy who was front and center right up at the cross, right up at the corner where it meets the front, was just yelling at Punk. And Punk ended up going over there, talking with him for a minute afterwards, taking pictures and everything. So it's like, okay. And then as far as when Punk came out during SmackDown, we'll talk about that. I think they did a good job with having them play the John Cena Thuganomics theme and not the regular CM Punk theme to where people didn't know how to react. But if they would have just played regular Punk's theme, Cult of Personality, I feel like we would have got a large set of the crowd booing. But because they ended up playing Word Life, it's a grace of Thuganomics, Word Life, and so it's playing that instead, I was like, oh, okay. And Punk did state, and like the crowd, I felt like maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention because I was in the mode of marking out myself. Maybe they did boo more, maybe they didn't, I don't know. But Punk did state on the kickoff show, hey, you thought the pipe bomb thing was cool. We have something even bigger than that coming tonight on SmackDown. And Cena even teased it as well at the SummerSlam kickoff deal at Fanatics Fest last week that they have something big planned for SmackDown. So we'll get into all of that. But it was cool. It was interesting. It was shocking that WWE re-acknowledged it. Because I don't know. I don't think that Muhammad guy was there. I saw one person go, was he a plant by WWE? Did they put Muhammad there to get Punk to, was that all set up? I don't think it was. And Punk just went off the cuff. So we'll see. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out by going over to YouTube and hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we post to the community tab, or if any of you post to the community tab, because you guys can do so now, or if you want to know when we go live. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to a badge that goes next to your name, emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat and the comment sections, and you get our graphics tutorials, and you get our graphics packages, something that nobody else in the wrestling space is giving you, teaching you Photoshop in a way to potentially go make some money. With all of that, though, also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. I do know that the Epic Store, let's see, they do have a Epic Savings deal going on until, here we go, Epic Savings July 3rd. So you got another week on that one. But with all of that, excuse me, free games right now as well. Sable. I've heard things about it good, but I haven't heard, I don't know anyone that's played it, but it is the free game right now. And then coming up next week, you will get Backpack Hero, which I've heard is fun, and Figment, which I've also heard is fun. But with all of that, as far as SmackDown does go, again, the show did open up with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, but really not much happened, and then the show went off the air. So we don't really have much notes for that. I mean, before Rhodes can speak, Orton would come out and interrupt. Orton got himself a microphone and asked the fans if they watched Raw this past Monday, and they saw the great match with Cody and Jay. He put it over as a potential Slammy Match of the Year candidate. I like how he called it a Slammy Match of the Year candidate, and didn't just say overall Match of the Year candidate. So, is that a nod to the own company you work for? Saying, well, that might be one of the best matches of the year here, but may not be one of the best matches of the year overall everywhere. Anywho. Yandri says, imagine Roman Reigns showed up when SmackDown was down on Netflix. So if you didn't hear, what happened was, as soon as they realized the show was down, they paused everything. They paused the entire broadcast, basically, and they stalled for time in the arena. So even if Roman was supposed to show up, they would have just waited and brought him out there when, well, everything was cleared up and ready to go. So there you go. So not long after Rhodes said that could be a Match of the Year candidate, the feed froze everywhere on Netflix. And then we got forever the damn we're on a break, we'll be back soon screen with the dum 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 ding dong dum 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 dum. That music, whatever it is that they play, it's annoying. And we heard it forever. Then we had some racist bastards on social media that tried to say, oh, the feed's down because a camel munched on a cable. What? Yeah, no. But when the show does come back, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett are there. And Wade Barrett goes, you know, this would have never happened if Joe Tess was here. We don't have issues like this when Joe Tess is on the show. Bring back Joe Tess. I don't know exactly what's up with Joe Tess tour, but he didn't go to Saudi Arabia. Also, we don't know who the actual broadcast team is going to be tomorrow for Night of Champions. Is it just Cole and Barrett? I doubt it's Pat. Could it be Corey Graves and they do a 3-man booth? I'd be fine with just Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, though. So Solsko is in the back with JC Mateo. Basically, he's just talking about, you know, JC's upcoming match. And we don't know exactly who he's supposed to be facing, but they're like, yeah, go out there and make a statement and this, that, and show them we're not taking names or whatever. He just told JC to go handle business. And we find out that Jason Mateo is going one-on-one with Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso walks down halfway down the ramp, but we go to another goddamn break. And I go, what? We were off for over 30 minutes, and we come back for 30, 40 seconds, and then we're at a break again. Maybe 90 seconds. We're at a break again. What? Are you kidding me? So we did have JC Mateo versus Jimmy Uso. Not a bad match. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but it was a solid SmackDown TV match. Mateo used his strength to ram Uso into the corner before he blasted him with repeated strikes as the referee pulled him away. This gave Uso the time to mount a bit of a fight in a comeback. Mateo grounded him right away, though. Uso kicked Mateo down to the outside and locked on a dive, but Solo kind of got in the way and stopped things. Not the only time we saw that. Saw that later as well. When we returned from a break, Mateo was catching Uso off of a top rope dive and slammed him down onto the mat. Mateo, impressed with a standing moonsault onto Uso for a near fall. At one point, Uso began to make a comeback with strikes aplenty, but he couldn't lift Mateo. He tried to get him up for a Samoan drop. No luck. Uso then answered back with kicks to the face before crunching Mateo into the corner with a running hip strike. Mateo then retreated to the outside as he got blasted by a suicide dive from Uso. At ringside, Sikoa grabbed at Uso's leg to create kind of like a distraction deal, which allowed Mateo to recover and put an end to things with a tour of the islands. So he pins Jimmy to pick up the victory. After the match, Sikoa tried talking to his big brother and was like, hey, you can't stop us. Join us. Too much for you. Come to me, brother. Come to me, brother. As they would say in Drake and Josh. Hug me, brother. That's what it is. Hug me, brother. Anyways, Jimmy said no and slapped his brother Solo in the face. This led to Mateo then striking down Jimmy. When Jacob Fatu would then run down to make the save, United States champion caught Mateo with the pop-up Samoan drop before he faced down Solo, who wisely backed out of the ring before their match tomorrow. This allowed Fatu to get a jumping moonsault on Mateo. Uso and Fatu kind of stared down in the middle of the ring, and then it got awkward because they're staring at each other, and Jimmy kind of goes like this, and I'm like, Jimmy just fucking slapped. Never mind. I thought he slapped Jacob, but he was moving Jacob out of the way because Solo was running back in, and boom, super kick to Solo. But the way he did it was like one of those palm strike, slap, uppercut, palm strike deals, and I'm like, why did he? Oh, never mind. So, yeah, everything really makes me think. And we got a segment with these two later where like Jimmy was like, I don't need your help. And Jacob's like, I didn't need your help last week. And then they were like, well, you know, if we can work together, whatever. It doesn't really matter though. And Jimmy kind of just stared at the U.S. title. So I don't know if Solo loses tomorrow, which I assume Jacob retains, and Jimmy's next for the U.S. title. We get Jimmy and Jacob. I don't know. Then we get a weird ass segment where DIY's in the back just bitching about the Wyatt Six getting a tag title shot. Cool thing there is Berto and Angel, they had their AAA tag titles. That was really cool to see. They had those on screen. But regardless, they're bitching. And they're like, all right, take care of Wyatt Six. And Wyatt Six shouldn't be getting a tag title shot. And Nick Aldis walks up and goes, guys, I can hear you complaining from all the way down there. So I got a plan. And he goes, come here. Come over here. And random ass Andrade just walks up. Right? And he's like, hey, why don't you go find yourself a partner? And you take on DIY later tonight. And I'm like, what? That's random and weird, but okay. And so they did set up Andrade and a mystery partner against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. So then we had Women's United States Championship on the line. Julia and Zelina had separate little remarks they made before the match, and then we got the match. Match itself was good. Like I said with Jimmy and JC, it was good, but I wouldn't call it great. You know what I mean? So Vega tried to go for a pin early on to end things quickly, but no avail. The two women then exchanged kicks before Julia took advantage with a suplex. Vega answered with a knee that sent Julia to the outside as she flew off the top rope with the moonsault. When Smackdown returned from the break, Vega was caught in a submission by Julia as then she stomped her on the mat. Vega did roll to the outside to get some separation. Julia looked to continue the punishment, though, and Vega threw her against the stairs and hit a running Meteora to Julia. Try not to burp right in the microphone. As we move forward inside the ring, Vega went on the attack as she countered an attempted Northern Lights bomb from Julia from the top rope. Vega caught Julia with another Meteora and got a near fall off of it. As they come down towards the finish of the match, Vega tried to head to the top, but Julia intercepted her and hit an amazing superplex. Vega recovered and landed a code red, but Julia rolled to the outside to not be pinned. Well, not quite to the outside. She rolled. She was being pinned-ish and then rolled to the ropes to break it and whatever. There was a missed moonsault that led to consecutive knees from Julia. They said like a name for the knee strikes, but I couldn't quite get it. This followed with a Northern Lights bomb, and Julia pinned her to become the new Women's United States Champion. So Julia is now the new Women's United States Champion, and she did send out a tweet after winning the title that just basically says, and I quote, I had it here. Now I can't see it. No surprises, no luck, just inevitability. And now. And then it's a picture of her with the actual Women's United States Championship. Basically, she's like, yeah, I knew I was winning. Don't think against me. As we move forward, like I said, good match. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but solid SmackDown title match. Now the big thing is, it's going to be fun to see Julia as a champion on the main roster. Got that title pretty quick. But now, who's her next challenger? Who steps up to Julia is the question. Yeah, I see. JL Good tried to write it in the chat. My dyslexia, I can't even read that. Arrive decree? I don't even know. Phonetically sounded it out. So phonetically write it for me. My dyslexia, I can't read that word. Again, to me, it sounds like arrive decree. I don't know. Anyways, the commentators made note that starting next week, Smackdown moves back to 2 hours, and then it stays at 2 hours going forward. For now, though, here's my thing. I have a bad feeling that maybe at the start of the year, they go back to 3 hours again. Hopefully they don't, but we'll see how it all plays out. They do have a show that's going to start airing August 15th in the 10 p.m. slot on Fridays. So as long as that show is airing, they can't go 3 hours. But when that show finishes season 1, we don't know if it'll get a season 2 or not. We just don't know. Hopefully they don't be like, all right, this show's over 3 hours again. We want another hour. I hope not. I so hope not. So backstage, Charlotte was walking and met by Alexa Bliss, who proposed that they not necessarily be friends, but more allies that mutually benefit one another. And when the other needs help, then the other can be assisted, I guess you would say. Like, we don't need to be friends, but it wouldn't be... Basically, it was like, we don't need to be friends, but it wouldn't be bad to have someone watching your back, is basically what it is. Also, if I do freeze at all on this live stream, a storm going on outside. Like, I could show you guys here on the stream. I could pull up my tweet. Hello, storm. Pull this up really fast. This came out of nowhere, too. But I noticed, like, my internet connection kind of dropped a little. All right. You tried to phonetically write it for me. Durkee. Ari Dvorky. That still don't sound right. Arrivederci. Is that what it is? Arrivederci? Arrivederci knees? She is half Italian. I should know that word. I'm fucking half Italian. My whole mom's side of the family comes from Italy. Arrivederci knees. I think that's what it is. Is that right, guys? Did I finally get it? Damn dyslexia reading words like that. I won't play this. Well, I'll play the sound because you guys will hear the thunder and stuff in the video. But this is the bad storm we got going on right now here, right outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Holy crap, is it storming? Whoa, there's a lightning flash.
Just came out of nowhere, too.
Jesus Christ. They said it might rain today, but I didn't think it was going to get like this. Ooh, boy.
Like, I got a notification about an hour and a half on my phone saying, possible rain in the next few hours. Didn't think it was going to be this. Didn't think it was going to be that. But, regardless. Arrivederci. Gotcha. Arrivederci. I should know that. I know a couple words in Italian. I can ask you, like, let's see. What are you doing? Tell you to eat. I can say the F word. And yeah. But moving forward, remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern right live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat or Twitch bits on Twitch. As we move forward, we had the Women in the Queen of the Ring finals kind of have a little face-to-face in the ring. Jade Cargill and Asuka with Wade Barrett as the moderator. Both women were in the ring, and Barrett asked Cargill about what made her so confident that she could beat Asuka tomorrow. Cargill answered by saying that when she sees Asuka, she sees an opportunity to prove why she belongs here. She said that at SummerSlam, she doesn't plan on just taking the title, but the whole damn throne. Asuka then replied by saying that Cargill may be strong, but power isn't everything. She said that she has skills and experience. She said that nobody was ready for Asuka. Before Cargill could provide a rebuttal, Miss Money in the Bank Naomi would come down and interrupt. It ain't the only time we saw Naomi tonight either. Naomi said that while Asuka and Cargill are fighting for Queen of the Ring, she actually has all the power. Naomi teased that she could cash in during the last woman standing match tonight or even tomorrow, Night of Champions. And I'm like, what? How are you going to cash in tomorrow, Night of Champions? Tiffany don't got a match. Cash in at what? And I'm like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, Naomi, at all. Because you're going to go cash in if Tiffany's there backstage, full good, not beat down. Or yeah, that line didn't make sense. Well, no. Because I was going to say, maybe she was talking about Io. Io don't got a match tomorrow. Io's not defending tomorrow, so never mind. Because I was thinking, trying to think, well, there's two women's champions that she can cash in on. But there's not two women's title matches this weekend. So anyways, she says she has all the power to ruin Cargill's dreams just like that. So I don't know if she meant like run in and screw Jade. But Naomi then walked down to the ring. Cargill got frustrated and pushed past Asuka to go at Naomi. This then kind of made Asuka a little mad and got her fired up as she laid out Cargill with a kick. Naomi then got on the apron and taunted Cargill. So Naomi standing tall tonight, Jade getting knocked down. I think my prediction's correct. I've been saying since the start, Jade's winning the Queen of the Ring. And I think this just solidified that Jade's going to win Queen of the Ring. So Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce were backstage talking about their plans for the Women's Tag Team Championships when Aleister Black would interrupt. Ron Killings then stormed in as well and was looking for John Cena. He said, I want to fight John Cena again after what happened. Aldis said that Cena is here for CM Punk. But Killings would have none of it. And Killings would have none of it. And so he's like, fine, I'm going to go find him myself. And he went to go look for John Cena. Black soon then left as well, seemingly maybe wanting to go for Truth because Truth has now interrupted what he was doing 2 weeks in a row. Commentators then recapped the Los Garza winning the AAA World Tag titles at Triple Mania, which is really cool. I think it's the first time they've acknowledged it on television. Then we had a hell of a match. DIY versus Andrade and Phoenix. And yes, we all want to see Phoenix and Pentagon together. We all want to see Lucha Bros together in WWE. But if for some odd reason they want to keep them separated, for some odd reason they're like, man, Penta's getting over as a singles. We want to keep him as a singles. We want that guy to do that thing. Andrade and Phoenix could be a really killer tag team. If they're not doing anything with Andrade, they're not doing anything with Phoenix. Might as well put them together. If you're not going to put Phoenix and Penta together because they're for some reason wanting Penta as a singles, do this. More of this. So moving forward in this match, Andrade and Ciampa started things off, and they locked up at the beginning. Andrade then backed Ciampa into his corner as Phoenix tagged in, and the two launched Ciampa into some double team attacks. Say that 5 times fast. Double team attacks, double team attacks, double team attacks, double team attacks, double team attacks. Barely got that one off. With both DIY members draped across the middle ropes, they are rocked by the team of Phoenix and Andrade. Up top, Phoenix and Andrade soared and took down Gargano and Ciampa on the outside with stereo dives. Give me 1 second. I have to respond to a message. Okay. So when we return from a break, DIY looking to take advantage against Phoenix, but the speedy luchador avoided calamity to create some needed separation. Before Andrade could get tagged in, Gargano pulled him off of the apron, which opened for Phoenix to get blasted with the running knee to the back of the head by Ciampa. After on the top rope, Phoenix fended off Ciampa and walked across the top rope to kick him square in the face. Andrade finally got the hot tag and was a house of fire against Gargano and Ciampa. Andrade caught Gargano's slingshot spear and hit him with an elbow, followed by a reverse tornado DDT. Only got a 2 off of it. After a commercial break, Gargano once again was in a standoff on the top rope, and with Andrade, Gargano tried to do a rolling powerbomb, but Andrade blocked it and hit a running knees in the corner. It was a double stomp by Andrade on Gargano, but it wasn't enough. Phoenix then took Ciampa out of the equation with a dive to the outside, which led to Gargano and Andrade duking it out in the ring. At one point, Phoenix then lifted Gargano up when he got back into the ring for a muscle buster as Andrade headed to the top, but Andrade got pushed off the top. DIY then took advantage and hit their super kick fairy tale ending combo, and Phoenix kicked out at 2. Wild chaos ensued with Ciampa missing a knee strike. Phoenix then hit a black fire driver, followed by Andrade sealing the deal with the message. 1, 2, 3. Andrade and Phoenix beat DIY. Hell of a match. I didn't do it justice here, but hell of a match. I think Andrade and Phoenix are a great tag team, so we'll see how that all does go. Give me 1 quick second. I need to check something here. I got a work message. Give me 1 quick second, guys. I just have to check something, see if I can do this tomorrow. Time. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. One last thing. Sorry, guys. I have to respond to this now. It's kind of important. Oh, what is this? There's 2 different ones. Ooh. Okay, I need to send a message really fast. Give me one. There we go. Okay. For a real estate photography company I work for, they had a job for me, and I had a question about it. And if I don't get back to them quick, someone else might steal the job because it's a first come, first serve kind of thing. and there's like one or two other people in my area. So they send it out to all of us and then say, hey, whoever grabs it first gets it. So, anywho, sorry about that. John Cena's recent appearance on The Late Show was shown, and they recapped his rivalry with CM Punk. Afterwards, Ron Killings showed up at ringside and stated that he was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And once again, he wanted John Cena. Aleister Black appeared in the ring and floored him with a black mass. Quote, I guess, in a way, we're even now, Ron, Black told him. Backstage, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford were interviewed about their upcoming tag title match against Wyatt Six. Aleister Black then randomly confronted Damian Priest backstage. Priest said that if Black was looking for payment from Ron Killings, that he'd do it face-to-face next time. Don't come at him from behind. Don't be like that. Then all of a sudden, Carmelo Hayes just walks up, starts talking shit to Priest, and Priest is like, hey, unless you want to get your ass beat, you best get away. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. Priest and Carmelo and Priest and Aleister. And so are we going to get a tag match? Priest and Truth versus Aleister and Hayes? I don't know. Then the WWE tag titles were on the line. Street Profits defending against the Wyatt Six. This match, it's not really much of a match. It was more of a, ooh. I don't know if you guys heard that one. Big Thunder that shook the whole house. More of a, hey, we wrestled for 3 minutes and then a big old brawl ensued. So maybe it was more like, well, we got a break. So it was more like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, maybe it was like 5 minutes of TV time plus the 3-minute break. So, give me 1 second. Okay, I got to wait. They responded, but not the response I needed. But Loomis and Ford started things off in the ring with the latter doing his creepy crawl and then being met with some fists from Ford in response. After an acrobatic dodge from Ford, Gacy tagged in himself and took down the champions for a second. After a commercial break, Ford and Loomis were taking each other down with a double running splash. Both men then managed to get to their tag team partners and tag in. Dawkins then used his surprising speed to get momentum. Then, as Loomis ran across the ring, he got pulled out of the ring by Los Garza. He then tried to take him down, but then he was attacked from behind by DIY, and the ref called for the DQ, and then everyone starts fighting. To the point where like Los Garza's out there, and Fraxium and Motor City Machine Guns and the tag champs and Wyatt Six, and Wade goes, you know what, Cole? It looks like a dang Royal Rumble in there. So many people fighting. And so, yeah, everyone's just going at it and biting and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Howdy and Sister Abigail are watching. Howdy eventually enters and got Axiom with the Sister Abigail. Well, Howdy and Nikki Cross, whatever you want to call her. And yeah, I don't know. They had the best tag division in the business. Like SmackDown had the best tag division going. And then they inserted the Wyatts and it's just gone to shit. I'll say it right now. It's gone to shit. All the stuff they're doing with the Wyatts and the SmackDown tag division, making DIY paranoid people and all. Fuck it. I hate it. I hate it. And it's all sucked. I told you earlier we had more of Jimmy and Jacob. We got it right here. They're outside the building, and Jacob confronted Jimmy. The two talked about, not really needing help from each other. Jimmy's like, I didn't need your help tonight. And Jacob's like, I didn't need your help last week. And they're like, well, you know what? How about we agree to watch each other's backs? Kind of like what Alexa said to Charlotte earlier. Because they're like, hey, family's family. We can do this, da, da, da. And then Jimmy stared at the U.S. title. So, we'll see. Then we had our main event match. WWE Women's Championship on the line in a last woman standing match. Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. Hey, these two worked hard. You could tell. You could also tell that there were times when, I don't know if they got lost, they kind of like had to take a breather because they slowed down. And then the stuff with Naomi at the end kind of wasn't needed because it's like she's coming out because they're both like tired, but it's not like both were down, you know what I mean? And then if she cashed in during the match, we already know when Seth Rollins did that, it just makes it a triple threat. So it's not like she's cashing in. She should have waited till after. Anyways, it was dumb because she's like, I'm I'm going to cash in. And she's like pushing the briefcase at the ref. I want to cash in. I want to cash in. I want to cash in. And he's just like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then eventually they get stopped and thwarted. So I don't know. But anyways, Jax went after Stratton right away as Mark Nash was doing his announcing. She took turnbuckle pad cover off the top rope at one point, which gave Stratton time to recover and fight back on the outside. Her attempts were stopped with a steel step strike right to the guts and the abdomen rib area. The announce table was then cleared, and she hit a Samoan drop across the exposed table. Stratton then struggled to get back up, but did get up in time. When we returned from a break, Stratton dropped Jax with a crossbody from the top rope. She headed up to the opposite corner and hit a swanton bomb. Jax got herself up briefly, but she blasted her with a two-footed drop kick. I also liked at one point when I think it was Tiffany was down getting counted. No, it might have been one of them. I forget who it was. But Wade Barrett had a great, astute, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Basically, Wade Barrett was just like, when you got your opponent getting counted and you realize they're gonna eventually get up on their own, don't let them get up on their own. Get on them, because that's just giving them more time to recover. He's like, if you see that, you get to a certain point and they're stirring and they're not going to stay down, don't let them get up on their own. And I'm like, that is smart, because if a wrestler, if this is real, let's go with that. If this is a real fight and you have to the count of 10 to get up, then you take to that 9 and then get up. Because if you could really get up at 4, but you want to take an extra 4 to 5 seconds just to catch your breath, get your wits about you, go for it. Let the ref keep counting. 9, and then get up. So I loved how Barrett was like, if you see that your opponent is not down and out and could get up on their own, grab them. Keep on them, but doesn't give them time to catch their breath and recover. I loved Barrett's little analogy. Not analogy, that's not the right word, but his insight there, I guess you would say. Where was I? Jax did get up and lifted Stratton on her shoulders and dropped her on the exposed turnbuckle. Stratton then got herself back up on a count of 8. She was thrown out of the ring by Jax afterwards. While Stratton was kind of out on the floor, Jax kept her eyes on the champion, tossing her into the barricade. Jax then placed Stratton on a table that did not have Slim Jim logos on it. No Slim Jim logos in Saudi. That's an interesting one. Do they even have Slim Jim in Saudi? I don't know. But no Slim Jim tables in Saudi. Jax placed Stratton on the table, like I stated, and then headed to the apron. Jax absolutely splatted Stratton through the table. Both were down and got up by 9. Jax then pulled out 2 more tables from underneath the ring, while Stratton once again made it back to her feet. We took another break with the 2 tables being set up at ringside, and Stratton was armed with the kendo stick. During the, quote, break, Jax tried to run at Stratton on the top of the stage, but she crashed onto one of the screens and it glitched, because it was supposed to glitch. That's a technical thing, for real. They wanted it to glitch on their own. Anyways. And then the fight found its way back to the ring. Also, during this match, at one point, the actual camera feed started glitching, and then the audio went out for 30 seconds. Then they caught it, and it was good for the rest of the show. It was when they were fighting in front of the announce table. Right after Tiffany took the steps to the ribs. The action returned with Jax hitting Stratton repeatedly with a steel chair. Stratton was dragged across the ring as Jax came down on her with the Annihilator. With the chair draped across Stratton, Jax hit yet another Annihilator. With the referee counting her down, Stratton just made it up by 9, but got hit with a kendo stick by Jax. One more table was set up in the ring this time as Jax hoisted Stratton up on her shoulders and headed to the top. Stratton escaped and attempted a Samoan drop, and instead hit a powerbomb on Jax through the table. Excuse me, got the hiccups all of a sudden. As both women were down, the referee started counting. Both Stratton and Jax then got up by 9, but they were barely holding on to the ropes and almost dying. That's when Naomi ran out. And things kind of from there. So Naomi runs out. She's yelling at the ref, I want to cash in, I want to cash in, I want to cash in. He's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then eventually Tiffany kicks her So the cash-in never happens. Knocks her down, sends Nia on top of Naomi, does the PME prettiest moonsault ever onto both of them, and Jax did get up. Stratton starts using the briefcase as a weapon. She then she went for a superplex attempt through the two tables as she instead. So she had Nia on the apron, ran at Nia with a briefcase, knocked Nia in the face. Nia falls off the apron through the two tables below and never gets up. Out. Ref counts to 10. Tiffany Stratton and still Women's Smackdown champion. So we only got one title change tonight. 3 title matches, 1 title change. Tiffany beat Nia. Julia beat Zelina for that title change. And then, well, the tag title match ended in a DQ. So, meh. Not a bad match. I thought these two worked very well together, as they always do. But you can tell, like, at times they needed a quick little breather. And they slowed things down. Then they got going again, and they slowed things down. Then we got a face-to-face to close out this show with John Cena and CM Punk. Oh boy, was this interesting. Cena comes out to the ring and says, "Get used to it, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is what a winner looks like," Cena stated. He said the CM Punk was a loser because he's been outsmarted, outmaneuvered, outgunned, and there's nothing that Punk can do. All of a sudden, basic thugonomics. John Cena's old theme song starts playing. I'm untouchable because I'm forcing you to feel me, a word life. Cena comes out. No, Punk comes out, dressed like old school John Cena. Backwards cap. Jersey, and of course, it's got to be a Chicago Cubs jersey because he ain't going to wear anything that's not Chicago. He's got a Chicago Cubs jersey on. Jorts. Everything. He's even got knuck rings that say drug free on them. Great. It was great. And so Punk enters, parody of John Cena, and we hear, "Yo, check it out. It's basic Punkanomics." Punk talked about how he was stealing word life. Punk called Cena a, quote, Timu Macklemore with Mackless rhymes. Punk then was trying to really remember this rap or whatever you want to call it because he stumbled over his words a couple times, but he said John Cena has buried more talent than The Undertaker. Punk said if Cena never ate his vitamins or fixed his bald spot, he'd be a Boston mall cop. He called Cena a fish belly white, I don't know what that is, Hulk Hogan, but somehow more problematic. It should be noted that Punk was speaking in rap phrases, like I stated. He was rhyming with all of this. Punk said in the last 6 months, Cena might be a superhero, but he'll always be the Marine to him. Basically talk about how, he's Peacemaker for James Gunn. He said, quote, "We all see you, and we're looking at a washed up bum." Punk said that tomorrow there was one more wish to make because Cena was the Drake. He said, hold on. I didn't write this one down, but I know other people did on Twitter. Let me go grab the quote because it's a good one. It's a good one. It even popped my son. Let me see. He made a Drake and Kendrick Lamar reference. He said, quote, where is it? Quote, "Tomorrow night, you're going to lose to Kendrick because, bitch, you're my Drake." That's what it was. Punk then did a mic drop, and then the show just cut. Over. Done. Off air. Your live stream has ended. Thank you for watching Netflix. Very cool. I liked it. I felt like the pipe bomb from Cena was better last week. Punk came off just a little too forced here, as far as, especially when he fumbled a couple lines, you're like, oh, this guy's just trying to remember the script. And my time, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, if they let Cena freestyle on him, because like Punk's a great promo when he just goes out there and speaks. And he was fine here. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but I'm just like, oh my. And I don't think they wanted Cena to embarrass him, but if they would have let Cena go out there and just freestyle on him, holy shit. You want to be me? You can't be me. But I don't know. I can't freestyle. But anyways, it was a fun little ruse parody thing. But coming off of last week and Cena parodying the pipe bomb, I feel like this was just a little kind of meh. I'm going to be completely honest. It was cool, but it didn't hit as hard for me as Cena doing a pipe bomb. So with all of that, I did not get a poll up on Twitch. Let me do that really fast. What did you think of Smackdown? I liked it. It was all right. Didn't like it. So we got that there. If you are watching live on Twitch, go hit up the poll really fast. Let us know what you thought of the show as we go and check the other polls. Let's refresh all of these. Refresh. As far as the Threads poll does go, 63% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and 19% didn't like it. Again, we're not going to get as many votes as we normally do, so these kind of polls are meh, because, a lot of people probably haven't watched the show yet. Looking here, 66% on Twitter liked the show, 16% thought it was just all right, 16% didn't like it. As far as the live poll goes, 75% liked the show, 21% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking at the community poll, 78% liked the show, 14% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. And nobody's voted on Twitch. But that's okay. With all of that, that was Friday Night Smackdown, the go-home show for tomorrow night's tomorrow's Night of Champions show. The Night of Champions will be airing on Peacock live at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Remember, once that show is over, then we will be going live afterwards with our review of the actual show. But with that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend, or upcoming weekend. And we'll see you back here live tomorrow for Night of Champions. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to hit up a raid.